the Graves going, and that just didn't happen.
No, but we're going to swap sides now for this next draft. Vici on the blue, EP on the red. We've got the same bans already for Vici. Going to stick with Victor and the Heck Room there, targeting both Raphael and Amazing J respectively. And Energy Pacemaker, very smart stuff. Going to ban away 2 supports, actually. Vega on the red side, and Jana again away from Mata.
Yeah, so Vega, of course, just that standard ban that would come through. But what else do they ban here? You feel the Ari is so high priority now because it's just, and that's what it is, but now Nah gets through. You have to first pick it, I think.
I mean, I think that's fine for carry, but I mean, Amazing J is a pretty deep champion pool there in the top side, so probably has something prepared there for the Nara in the top side. I wonder if EP are thinking about banning a mage. No, they're going to take the Dandy Nidalee away again.
Yeah, so I like that ban because it gives them Rek'Sai in this first side. And Raphael also has the Azir available, of course. That's a good pickup for him, but also denies it from Hetong.
Yeah, they've got Lissandra and Kassadin open now as well. Azir still available, and there's Zerath. I mean, lots of Raphael champions. Father Victor open now, and EP have almost anything they want to pick here. And Amazing J, as we said, likely has something prepared for this now.
Yeah, you would hope that he has something that he's happy to take into that. I think the Rek'Sai does need to be taken away from Dandy. He didn't have the best performance, and Jarvan, of course, still is available. I just think that there's a lot that Rek'Sai does much better than Jarvan. Brings the knock-up through, has a very good gap closer, and just farms so efficiently.
Instead, Energy Pacemaker might take away 2 mages here, actually. One for mid, you have to think, and one for support. A very weird start to a draft, but LeBlanc and Annie are their first 2 picks.
Yeah, they must have a game plan behind this, because blind picking a LeBlanc with the likes of Azad, with the likes of Azir still up, is a very risky maneuver, but that's exactly what Raphael is elected for.
I mean, Raphael, a big LeBlanc player as well. It seems to be one of his favorite champions. Maybe just feels like they have, as you said, a pick comp sort of prepared here for the LeBlanc, or Raphael maybe just feels like playing LeBlanc. Who knows? But Vici are going to respond with some strong picks here. Hetong's Azir has been outstanding when he's got it, and Dandy probably going to revisit the Rek'Sai.
Yeah, so completely picking up the top side of the map, leaving Mata and Vasily for the last 2 picks is something that we don't often see coming through from pick ban phase, but they have a very good skirmish AoE top half of the map so far. And the Nah has been, I guess, seeing a resurgence. It looked like teams had figured it out, but in the last couple of days, Nah's been pretty strong.
Yeah, he's looked great here, and I mean, that last performance from Amazing J maybe showing you why. Still a great team fighter. Apparently another backup AD carry if you're Amazing J in the mini Nah form, but EP going to humor us here with a couple of hovers, and they've got, again, some more picks open. I think Corki probably makes the most sense as far as immediate picks goes.
Yeah, I certainly do, although Graves a denial away because it deals with LeBlanc so well, because if you jump into Graves' face, that actually goes back to the Corki, and we've seen Drizzle play the Jarvan. We've also seen Amazing J taken into the top lane, so a little bit of a flex, but Drizzle played that extremely well.
Yeah, really did a number on Dandy's Rek'Sai in the last game, so probably going to revisit the jungle matchup from before. Corki going to be keen to pick up there again. So Vasily, if he wants the Graves, can take it, but might not be feeling it after that last game.
Yeah, it definitely didn't look preferable coming through here, and actually hovering the Kalista. More of a team fight AD carry, can deal with the tanks a lot better, and having that the Kalista Thresh combination that we saw played to great effect yesterday we've seen a very potent kill lane.
Yeah, I mean, I just like that Mata is going to be back on Thresh here as well. So we do have, like you mentioned, Kalista Thresh coming through there for Vici to round out their draft. Mata just felt he's fine on Morgana, but it's not a high-impact champion for him, and Vici needed something to really get them going in that last game.
Yeah, it certainly looked like that needed to be the case, and with the hover from Amazing J coming through on Aurelia, looks like they're going for more of a split push feel, potentially. They don't really have a fantastic 1-3-1 coming through, so a lot of the pressure will be on Amazing J, because this gets down to a 5v5 team fight. Azir, Nah, Kalista, there is a lot of consistent damage.
Yeah, and EP have good options as well. They have some semblance of, I guess, a good grouping or skirmish comp with a bit of pick potential there as well. Raphael's going to have to do a lot of work here on the Blanc, I feel like, but I do love that a very strong last pick Aurelia is going to come through here, because you mentioned that Nah dropped off a little bit. Part of that was because everyone was picking Aurelia.
Exactly right. And Aurelia's with Ninja Tabbo just take absolutely no damage from Nah whatsoever in that mini Nah form. Throw in a Doran shield and you just shrug off everything.
Yeah, so that's going to be our top lane matchup, of course. Amazing J had just that, an amazing game in Game 1 there. So if he can repeat that sort of success against Carry, now on the Nah, the champion he played in Game 1, he's going to put the team on his back once again. Same matchup here, actually. Both junglers sticking to what they know.
Yeah, so Dandy looks like he's putting a lot of priority on the Rek'Sai. You can see why it's very strong. Raphael versus Hetong. back to our key matchup. Azir versus LeBlanc, something we don't see very often. High volatility, both extremely squishy mages.
Yeah, and important to note, 2 comfort picks for these mid laners there as well, so lots going into there on the bottom side. Vasily going to take a bit more of a hyper carry here in this one. Going to get Kalista there, actually. And Mata on a champion we know and love him for. It's the Thresh.
Yeah, so Mata's Thresh coming through, one of the premier Thresh players. And in the bottom lane, you would think Thresh, maybe not very aggressive at the start, but we saw yesterday at level 2, this lane has so much CC with the Ren slow, the Flay, and the Death Sentence coming through. They can put out a lot of early pressure.
Yeah, Thresh is just a champion that kind of does a little bit of everything. And adding mobility on top of mobility like Kalista, maybe not what you want, but you know what? We're going to find out soon. Let's get onto the Rift. And welcome back for Game 2 here. Vici versus Energy Pacemaker. Energy Pacemaker actually up a game here in this series. Looking to continue a trend of winning, I suppose, and maybe get a 2-0 here, which would be insane against a team like Vici.
Yeah, to be able to secure 3 points from Vici would be an absolute miracle for Energy Pacemaker, and they're looking to, I guess, make it happen here. They need to get some good 2-0s through to be able to press for these playoff spots, and they look like they're capable of doing it.
Yeah, we're going to see some spreads out here. Just a 4-point defense coming through for both teams. Early wards being put down there as well. Nothing particularly out of the ordinary. Hatong does put a nice deep lane ward there in the mid side, just to maybe spot some swaps here, because you have to think Vasily wants to dodge the Corki matchup.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't want to go against a Corki Annie, more importantly. Annie just puts out so much kill pressure in any lane, and both supports taking the Ignite this time around with the Morgana. They settled for the Exhaust, and you have to feel no exhaust in these matchups. It means that Raphael, if he gets a good combo, will be able to take away either the Azir or the Kalista pretty quickly. Yeah,
we sort of mentioned it already. This is the matchup we're looking at here. Hatong versus Raphael have both been playing fantastically for their teams in their victories. But again, both on cover champions, pretty different ones as well. And Raphael, at least for EP, he's going to do a lot of heavy lifting if his team's going to take the second game.
Yeah, exactly right. And it actually looks like EP are going for some sneaky strategy, because their bottom lane has started up the blue buff.
Yeah, looks like they're on the blue now. We're going to have the Krug started up there for Drizzle, and Kane and Shu actually might have just taken the little creeps away. It looks like that's what they did.
Yeah, they saw that there was a little bit, the freeze was coming through in the top lane, so they had to race down to that bottom to push it in as hard as possible. Otherwise, they would have lost out on the lane swap. I think what they were hoping for was the 2v2 and then being able to give either Phosphorus Bomb the spam ability, or maybe even Annie with those Qs to be able to really set up some high pressure in that lane. But doesn't look like to be the case. It'll be the 2 versus nones.
Yep, sadly, just the jungler's going to hang out with their top laners here in their first early clears. Vasily here, like you mentioned, freezing the top side of the map, and I imagine Kane's doing the same.
Yeah, and now we have to see how long this lasts for, because Kane has actually got a couple more melee minions, so it will slowly push into the turret of Vici, but this really dictates how Kalista builds, because if you want to continue a long laning phase with lots of freezes and extend the laning phase to the 11-12 minute mark, you can't go the Hurricane, because it just automatically pushes a wave. So you have to go into maybe some early attack speed and then a BF sword, but doesn't allow that particular build to come through, and it can change up the game.
Yeah, I mean, for me, this feels a lot like just sort of a transition thing where you want to get through the rough parts of the early landing stage and come back in the lane for the 2v2, right around when the first dragon might be considered.
Yeah, exactly right, and they see that carry has been zoned off, might even be caught.
Good stun there, actually. Amazing J going to follow in there. Just a Blade Search for damage, but that forces carry's flash.
Yeah, so the flash gone, and now they completely zone off the turret. The 4-man proxy coming through, and they've sent a couple of members down to help out, but they might need to be careful here. And until Mata recalls, this is a very dangerous situation.
Yeah, if anyone remembers Snake strats from a few weeks ago, they were doing a lot of 4-man proxying here in this game, and it's a really good, it's a kind of a weird answer, I suppose, to this sort of lane set, because if they're freezing, you want to push, like, all right, everybody get in.
Yeah, exactly right, and I'm surprised they didn't proxy for a little bit longer. Now they're pinging back down to the turret, because that was in a position where Energy Pacemaker could really make Vici pay for committing a second resource there. The correct response would have been to back away completely, but now standing on top of a ward, they've been completely spotted out.
Yeah, just faded, and a ward immediately put back down there by Dandy. Kane trying to do a bit of freezing, but he knows the wave's going to push in, so just moving it forward, and I agree with you. I think they should have just proxied immediately and fast pushed the turret.
Yeah, they certainly should, because now their options are, do they start up a dragon, which is very dangerous, with a level 1, and on the other side of the rift, I think there's a level 3 or 4 jungler. Dandy's level 3, so he's in a much stronger position. because otherwise Kalista just gets a completely free lane.
Yeah, this Dragon's doing so much damage, and EP have to pull off the flash actually being used. Carry going to get caught up. They want first blood so bad, and they'll get it. Amazing J gets the reset.
Yeah, so he's able to get in there, pick it up with the Blaze Surge. Now they continue on the Dragon. It still does a lot of damage. They need to be careful because there's still 3 members around.
I mean, it is at 50% health. Raphael's in the area also, so it's 5v4. I guess maybe 4v4 right now with the Dragon acting as a couple of champions, resetting health very quickly, and Carry's going to TP back. Nothing EP can do.
Yes, the problem is here that they've committed a lot of resources to the fact that they're trying to shut down the Kalista. Actually teleporting Amazing J at level 1 into the top lane, that's a risky decision because he's not going to be able to break his freeze by himself, and if he dies, that's a lot of, I guess, map pressure that they lose straight away. So a lot of pressure now on Vasily. Can he have a better performance than he did last game and really start carrying through?
Well, he's off to a great start if he does want to put a bigger performance on in this particular game here. And Amazing J, he's doing the smart thing, hanging out in the bush and soaking experience.
Yeah, so he's trying to get as much cheeky experience as he can to get to level 2. Then he can maybe better equip with dealing with the minion waves at least. But Carry, he's in a better position at this point. He's got 21 CS to only the 2, and will be able to farm against the Corki. Might have a little bit of a trouble in the exchanges, but at least we'll be able to get some good damage across. Yeah, and I mean, Carry, understandably, maybe wanted to dodge the 1v1 matchup after what happened in Game 1, but Amazing J completely put behind this game. If he was going to look to be a big performer here for his team and really put the carry pants back on after Game 1, he's going to struggle to do so. He is really far behind. Yeah, he certainly is in that CS and the levels, more importantly. However, he has got the first blood, so he'll be about equal to Carry, you would have to think, in gold. 20 CS is about that 400 coming through there. So Carry, he needs to continue to farm up if he's going to be this late game threat. And against a Corki, Corki one of the better 1v1 AD carries. Yeah, we've seen again, one of the cool things about Graves Corki being so popular is that they actually lane quite well just on their own. Yeah, exactly right. Graves lanes so well because of his passive. It's just hard to chunk him out, and trades really well in short bursts. And Corki, I guess, is all the mixed damage, makes it hard to itemize against him, as well as the fact that he has that poke damage and just farms at ease. Yeah, and Shu here is just babysitting Amazing J on the top side, but Marta wants to do a tower dive. You have to think Vasily, level 5 there as well. Amazing J getting whatever CS he can, but Vici posturing aggressively now. Yeah, and he's trying to duck in and out. The danger here is that passive right there, the Flayed auto attack coupled with the fact that Kalista's W gives the passive that comes through when both members auto attack them. It's just so hard. And now that level 6 is out from Vasily, there's a real chance that a turret dive comes through. Yeah, some pretty sweet soul bonded synergy there coming through. And Vasily even chucking the render under turret. I mean, Kalista, especially when she's ahead like this, one of the better people are just harassing people under turrets by hopping out from under them. Yeah, exactly right. You throw the auto attack from in range and then can hop back out of range before it's over. So Amazing J having a horrible time now, 35 CS down, and unless they get a third member up there or, I guess, massacre another lane, this is just rapidly deteriorating. Already 500 gold the advantage for Vici. Yeah, pretty crazy to see Shu sitting up here with Amazing J, babysitting him, and actually be a higher level, actually half a level ahead now at 4.5 to Amazing J, who just hit 4. Yeah, so Amazing J definitely not having the game he would have hoped. Across the rest of the map, very, very even, apart from the fact that Dandy's jumped out to an early CS advantage, and now he's looking to get a gank through into the bottom lane, going over that wall. Yeah, nice little gank actually set up in the bottom. Kane will get knocked up there as well. Great play by Carry. Nice him into the wall, and Dandy follows up cleanly. Yeah, and that's a really cool tunnel to use because it gets you out of range of the turret. Very hard to, I guess, be able to respond to that quickly. They had a ward down there. It just wasn't in the right position. Didn't spot Dandy going into the jungle. So from this point now, Energy Pacemaker in a fantastic position. They picked, in a horrible position, they picked the Aurelia to be able to deal with a Gnar, but hasn't been able to go against him 1v1. And now with 54 CS to 7, if that ever is the case, Gnar's just going to completely destroy him. Yeah, and Vasily actually get landed out. Drizzle tried to follow him, but couldn't get it done. And the thing for EP is they really committed to what was a greedy tower dive in the bottom side, and it set them so far behind. Aurelia's great in a 1v2 situation, and Gnar honestly really isn't. So the fact that that matchup's been flipped after the swap is Amazing. They're getting solo. Vasily does get the kill, gets stunned out there by Shu as well. The knockup coming in for Drizzle, and Shu will get the trade though. Yeah, but a support kill for an AD carry kill, I know what I would rather have, and it just continues to deny even more CS away from Amazing J. So things getting even worse as this game comes across, and now they need to look for a lane to hide him in because he can't really lane against anyone.
Yeah, and Raphael can't even leave to influence the other lanes. That's the big problem, I guess, as well. Hetong able to keep up, very competitive in CS in the mid lane, even stealing away the blue, I believe, with Dandy's help, who's exerted a lot more pressure this game than game one. Yeah,
because the problem is that Drizzle's just been caught on the top side of the map looking for an opening, trying to get a gank down, and Dandy goes blue to blue, able to pick up both buffs, puts him ahead.
Yeah, I mean, Dandy already putting the jungle on farm here on the Rex side. Pretty much consistently out-farming people on this champion. Loves to really stick in his jungle long here, but Drizzle, like you mentioned, just has to try and gank lanes that are honestly at this point kind of ungankable.
Yeah, exactly right. And they're at the point where they're that far behind that it's going to be so difficult to come through. You see the Phage as well as the Giant spell finish up to only the boost too. So I like the pickup coming out of the Aurelia to be able to survive this lane, but level 5 to 7. Talk about uphill battles.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the gold lead there, slightly ahead by about 500 gold by carry, but so much more gold in base stats here. An amazing day. Going to get Flash Knight into the wall. Dandy going to come in for a follow-in knockup. There's the wallop and the boulder toss in as well. Amazing J gets subjected to so much CC, but he does just live.
Yeah, so he's able to live, but the problem is that his wave is frozen over the other side of top lane, and there's absolutely nothing he can do to make that freeze go away. And just a horrible situation for a top laner to be in. This repetitive attention coming through from Energy Pacemaker shut down probably the best player from last game.
Yeah, and Raphael here in the mid now. So weaving in between the Azir Sand Soldiers for a bit of poke, but is anchored to this lane so far. And LeBlanc doesn't really like being stuck to a lane, wants to try and roam and get some help in the... give some assistance in the side lanes as well.
Yeah, certainly does want to be able to get up there, probably even go head-to-head with the AD carry at this point and try and shut down Vasily, who's built a nice CS score at this point in the game. 95 CS at 11 minutes. He's got up to an absolute blinder and what would have been a hard lane matchup if he had been able to run into that Corkiani. So across the board, they really have won this lane swap situation.
I mean, they have it. I said it before, but EP just got so greedy on that dive and should have just taken the swap, I think. You know, accept it. Aurelia's fine. Nah, you can probably keep him down if you want to dive him. Didn't even commit to the proxy after they started it. So EP just a couple poor early game decisions and a big hole now for them.
Yeah, and that was a surprising. The fact that they had the opportunity to go for that proxy and didn't choose to, as Marta hooks a minion. Very nice play coming out there.
Delivers it to Vasily, of course. Being a nice guy support. Trust me, that's intentional.
As we see Drizzle clearing out a pink ward over this side and in the bottom lane.
Yeah, Fate's Call being popped there as well. Shu will get knocked up there. Vasily moving in. A great hook there by Marta. Follow-in play coming through. Tibbers actually could be a bit of a problem there, but Dandy comes in. A great double stun, but Marta collects the kill.
Yeah, so actually good play coming out Shu there. Nearly picked up a return kill for himself, but in the end, 2 kills for absolutely nothing. A huge creep wave now. They'll be able to pick up an outer turret because that reinforcement's fallen away. It's 12 minutes into the game, and now they're starting to not only win one lane, but win the whole map off the back of that lane swap.
And you know, Vasily not on an aggressive AD carry this time around. Kosta much more of a, you know, sort of a late game threat here. Bit of a slower AD carry to build up, but when he's given potential to bully his lanes here, and he has with the lead, plus with Marta playing Thresh, he just looks so much better.
Hetong's in so much trouble.
Ulti there coming through there for Azir. Hetong does go down though. Drizzle just ganks him in the face, and Raphael, plenty of burst to help there with the kill.
So Raphael double distorted to get in range of a Q chain stun, and Hetong thought he could go aggressive there because Dandy was coming. As Dandy's caught out.
Yeah, actually gets stunned up there by Shu. Dandy will tunnel away to the Baron Pit. Has already been ignited. Pacemaker just wide there. Amazing Jake and a duck down there as well. Stun's going to move in. There's the Equilibrium strike for the slow. Carry moving in. Does get one into the wall. There's Amazing Jake going to move in. Dandy trying to kite away and carry. Not tanky enough yet. Raphael gets the next kill. Marta whiffs the hook there, and now Shu is actually going to get caught out. A great play to start things off. Vasily's here as well. Dandy gets a trade.
Yeah, but in the end, all this time for Corki to be able to farm in the bottom lane, and they pick up 2 kills for 1. So the trade in favor of Energy Pacemaker, and you wouldn't have maybe thought that with how this game is going.
No, and Raphael going to return there to the mid lane. Very strong roaming, finally freed from the mid lane. They're able to help influence other parts of the map. Kane down the bottom side there as well, getting some work done.
Yeah, Kane able to, I guess, push in on this turret. Nearly gets it down as we see right now. Hetong responding to that one, but Kane will be able to take it out.
Trouble there as the Santordas move in. Ivaku's out of the way. Hetong going to keep chasing in there. The slow comes in. Q's through him, and an easy solo there for Hetong.
Yeah, very nice play out of Hetong, recognizing that he was going to stick around for the overstay and making him pay for it. That's a Trinity Force finished up for the Corki player. So 0-3-1, not having a great game, but at the point where he would like to be at this. And Vasily, he's rushed a Bloodthirster, actually. So he hasn't gone the Hurricane build because of the freeze situation he was put in early, but a lot of flat damage coming through.
Yep, so damage is getting built up there. As we look through some of the other items as well, we've got Amazing J really far behind actually on that Trinity Force upgrade.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised he stuck with the Trinity Force and going to go for some Kane stats.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Amazing J usually the player to do that, but in this situation, very committed to the standard Aurelia build here, and that might hurt him.
Yeah, it definitely will be hurting him as we have a collapse coming through in the bottom lane. Hitong being caught out.
Yeah, Dandy trying to run down there as well. Drizzle and Shu actually going to lose the stuns up there. Stun is not going to land. He's actually at a stun turret now, defending there in Vici in EP's own space. Dandy moves in for a knock-up, and that was very well played.
Yeah, a little bit of a bait coming through with that Azir turret, and now they've been completely caught out. Carry's caught Drizzle.
Yeah, Drizzle gets slowed. They're going to force the flash out. Wallop will miss as a result, but Dandy going to move in there. Kane will dodge back in. Raphael really wants a kill there. Does get a bit of burst down. Actually chains up the blue buff there as Kane is going to move in to try and defend it. Soldiers though, zoning people out. Raphael diving on the blue. Kane does pick it up, so they will secure their own buff. The flash, though, forced out by LeBlanc.
Yeah, so all in the meanwhile, with how far behind Amazing J is, he's not using his teleport at all. He's trying to pick up as much farm in this situation as possible. Just wants to be non-interactive. Vici recognizing that, invading at will, trying to take things away, using their top laner who is ahead to rotate around the map, and now they're going to pick up a free mid lane turret.
Yeah, smart to pick on the lower side of the map as well, because Amazing Day is at least in the area if you're pushing the top side.
Yeah, they also pick up the Dragon as well at the same time, so fantastic heads-up play coming out of Vici at this point, and they've done well to dictate pace.
They have. I mean, Dandy just having a much more different game here, much more influential, involved in 4 of the 7 kills that Vici has 3 of them for himself, done a lot more counter-juggling, a lot more proactive. It's night and day when Dandy's on and off.
Yeah, it certainly is, and I like the proactive play coming out. Dandy, when he's at his best, is making sure that he's getting around to lanes, being at the right place in the right time. Setting up some good counter ganks is probably what he's most famous for, but I guess that's when he's playing his game. When play is getting dictated to him and he's late to the lanes, he's not really getting in the position to be able to affect it. Definitely agree that he doesn't look to be the same player. And whilst Drizzle's still having a good performance, 1-0 and 3, Dandy's really turning into a carry for his team. Yeah,
and that's one of the nice things and why I love Dandy's rec size so much is that exact reason you mentioned. He loves to be reactive. He's the master of the counter gang. So give yourself a champion that's super versatile and has great mobility around the map.
Yeah, exactly right. You can also say that he can use his kit to do a little bit of split pushing, although they're looking to invade here.
Yeah, Raphael actually going to find Hitong there and gets blown up there, does poor Azir. LeBlanc starting to claim some victims now.
Yeah, and that's the danger of playing a squishy mid laner. If you take those aggressive routes, you get caught out very quickly, and we see now the siege comes through into the mid turret.
Yeah, Kane here with the Trinity Force. Great rotation coming through for EP. Might have catches another minion there. Vasily will collect the delivery that has been picked up here, and Dandy going to move in carry with no Naba here. Can't quite move in, but Amazing J still stuck in the top lane. He can't join them for fights right now.
But slowly but surely, he's starting to eke away at that little bit of a gold advantage. He's back to within 30 CS. That was about 50 at the start of the game. So he's slowly shutting it back down, picking up farm around the map where he can. Now he's only one component away from his Trinity Force. Sure, it's not a 14-minute Trinity Force like he would hope, but it'll be in before 20.
Yeah, and you know, that's probably not what we wanted, but acceptable, I guess, at this point, given how poorly everything went. And credit to EP, they've done a good job grouping around the Corki Trinity Force and mostly just making space for Aurelia.
Yeah, exactly right. And I think, yeah, whilst it's not what they were hoping for, it was at the point where you thought that maybe he wasn't even going to get it at all. He was just going to have to be committed to the Frozen Heart, go into a Banshee's Veil, and be a very tank-heavy Nidalee and not really be able to serve much of a purpose. So sticking with the build has paid off in the end because he will at least be a marginal, a bit of a threat against Vasily's Kalista.
Yeah, and Vasily has actually gotten very big now as well here. Double items are completed here with the BT, plus the Hurricane already through. So Vasily, it's his time to shine in this team fights. Vici, we're going to look to try and set some up. They're in the top lane.
Yeah, so they've rotated between objectives nicely here. We see that they're using the ultimate from Amazing J to try and clean this out. Actually picks up all the CS for himself, so he's okay at this point.
Yeah, quite a bit closer to Trinity Force. Might actually have it done now as well here, so looking good. And no, not quite yet. Just actually going back for maybe some wards. There we go.
Yeah, looking to get some wards in there. Swaps over to a sweeper as well. Understanding the fact that he has to be able to deny vision, can't afford to get ganked in here, and maybe looking for a team fight. No, with that teleport, definitely better to go into the top lane, shove that one back out. Needs to freeze for as long as possible, but can't afford to do it to the point where he's hurting his team.
No, and I mean, EP can only buy so much time here, especially as everyone else from Vici does get tankier as well. We see carries now, Giant Spelt, Spectres, Cal, Phage, and the Merc Treads, plus the Ruby Crystal actually, so very cost-efficient early tank sets there as well. Hetong working on the next item, probably the Zhonya's against the LeBlanc there with an EDC large item. We already talked about Kalista. Vasili's ready to go as far as fights are concerned.
Yeah, Vasili definitely is. Maybe even just wants a QSS to be able to get rid of an errant stun if he gets nailed by the Tibbers or the chains coming through. But apart from that, he is in fight mode right now, so definitely at the point of the game where he would be happy to get in these little 3v3s, 4v4s that Kalista excels at. Across the board, very cost-efficient build coming out in the top lane. I like the fact that they're going for Banshee's Veil over the Randu and Omens pickup just because Corki does a lot of mixed damage and hasn't really got to the point where he's at his 2 items, has the boots upgraded, but apart from that, still stuck on the Trinity Force, and until that Blade of the Ruined King comes through, won't be able to do much damage to this HP heavy Nah.
Yeah, and as we see Kane going to clean out some of the minions here as well. Shu going to just kind of look at them longingly, wish you could have some, but not today here as well as Vasili goes back, does actually finish Berserker Greaves, I believe, and gets a couple wards. So 3 pink wards in Vici's inventory. They're setting up for this next dragon.
Yeah, they certainly are. They've had complete control over the objective after a very early, I guess, misplay coming out of Energy Pacemaker where they thought that they had the superior numbers. They were able to grab first blood off it, but lost complete control over the rest of the map. And from there, really has been owned by the Vici lineup. Merc Treads coming through for their mid laner as well. I like that pickup against the Annie, as well as the Equilibrium Strike. Needs to make sure that he can get out of stuns as quickly as possible and put out this consistent damage that Azir is so famous for.
Yeah, an amazing Jay saw him in the top. He's still trying to find the Trinity Force. If he can keep carry in the top and or interrupt the teleport, EP might actually have a decent shot at a 4v4, simply because Raphael's finally finished up his death cap.
Yeah, he certainly has. As wow, Drizzle gets chunked out there. Mata misses the play, but that might be enough for them to have some confidence to get even more ward control further up.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a lot of good vision already here. We've got double Sightstone, triple pink there for Vici as they moved in for the Dragon. So up in 20 seconds, Vici have such a good stranglehold of vision there around the area. And this is what we're talking about is Raphael gonna dive in, but can't quite find Hetong with the chain.
Yeah, can't nail the chain. That probably would have been the signal for Kane to go aggressive as well. I like what Vici has done with their wards this game. We said last game they spread their wards very thin. This time, next objective is Dragon. Look exactly where all their wards are. They don't care about the top lane. Amazing J is losing out on that already. They've got complete control over this area, and that means Vasili's just going to be able to pick it up solo by himself. Nothing Energy Pacemaker can do.
Yeah, we see this all the time here. Dandy and Vasili actually going to team up just to make sure that gets rendered. Dandy will throw it a smite just for fun. And a third Dragon actually going through for Vici.
Yeah, and now they rotate into this bottom lane, trying to pick up some damage there as Hetong takes a full combo from LeBlanc in the face. That was a very favorable trade. And in the top lane, Amazing J has finally finished up a Trinity Force. Was 22 minutes.
Yeah, a little late there on that one. Probably 6 minutes at least late as far as where the maximum timing threshold might come through. But he does have it. It's just a matter of how much difference does it make. Because EP have started to lose a little bit more in this game. They're 4,000 gold behind.
Yeah, and he's let that CS advantage creep back towards the 50 mark as well.
Mata gets knocked up there. Shu getting hooked up, and Drizzle just going to dunk him. Dandy, they're diving right into the backline. Mata gets fate called out by Vasili. Dandy almost escaped as Corki gets the kill, but Hetong is in the front lines here now. So Carry almost at Mega now as well. Vici going to force EP out, but Dandy did go down.
Yeah, and Raphael might have a little bit of a flank here, so if Carry chases through, they're in a good position.
Shu though forced to flash out. Carry going to bounce on top of his space there, and Shu has nowhere good to go. Hetong probably going to clean him out, but Drizzle actually chasing in. They're trying to save the Annie. They're a good ult there from Carry. Actually killed Shu, but Amazing J gets onto Azir, and Vasili can't find any traction in the fight. Does turn back in, trying to hop around, gets so aggressive, but Kane just destroys him.
Yeah, and that was an amazing fight coming through for Energy Pacemaker. They used the Cataclysm to shut off the rest of the team as Mata. That is a very brave position to be. On top of a pink ward, yes, but normally people pass through brushes.
Well, not today here. Mata will get out with his life this time around, but like you mentioned, a stellar fight around terrain by Energy Pacemaker.
Yeah, and Energy Pacemaker to lose the top side of the map that badly and only be down 2,000 gold at this point in the game is a complete miracle. I don't know how they've done it, as we see Danny going a little bit aggressive onto Raphael, who's kind of teasing him there, recognizing that he didn't have the tunnel to close the gap. And Yeah, sure, they've picked up the 3 dragons, so they're on a good click for pressuring that 5th dragon, but you would think that they would maybe be 4,000-5,000 gold ahead with how this top lane's going. No, Amazing J, still 2-1-1, has put himself in a very good position. He's only 700 gold behind. When all said and done, that's not that much.
No, and he got a couple kills in the last team fight, so his team kind of helping through there as well. And Vici, we've talked about it so much, but just too aggressive in that situation.
Yeah, thought he could take on the Corki, but wasn't expecting the pocket LeBlanc to be there. Completely got blown up, and that put the Blade of the Ruined King finished. And this is a premium Corki build. It's very expensive, but in saying that, that means you scale very well into the late game, because the thing about Corki, sure, he doesn't go for that auto attack build, more of a caster, but if every single one of your items is around that 3,000 to 4,000 mark, you do a lot of damage.
Yeah, Mata double play actually after landing a good hook there onto Raphael. They will get out though with the gap closes that they have. The Scrying Gob will see the Mata going so deep actually. Gets Fate's Call thrown in there, and he's in the middle of the team, but he's going to get blown up, and Kane just says, thanks, I'll take your gold.
Yeah, exactly right. Amazing J in the meanwhile needs to be careful. He's being collapsed on.
Good stun there coming through, but Vasili's going to chase him down. Amazing J does have a Glacial Shroud. A good blade dodge in. Might trick it for long enough. The ulti going to come through, but Kane gets a Zir, but gets rendered to death. Does poor Amazing J. Now Drizzle diving in the back there with Raphael as well. EP keep Vici out.
Yeah, so able to turn that one around. It was a 2-for-1. All said and done with Hatong going down, and this LeBlanc now has got some serious damage. They need to make sure this game doesn't get out of hand, because Raphael is looking to take over. Finished off those 2 core items, going for a very aggressive build, and put his team back within 1,000 gold.
Yeah, going to get a turret there as well. So 4-3 now on that objective. Actually, I think it's actually 3-for-3 because Azir, as always, is tricking me. Carry here. Going to bounce into the rush, find the Scuttle Crab. Just chucks a pink ward down because Baron, now a very real objective these teams have to consider.
Yeah, definitely. It's actually 2-for-3. Top lane turret is still out as we see a bit of a replay. This is where Hatong got picked off over the wall. Very nice play coming through for Energy Pacemaker. Kane the beneficiary of that one.
Yeah, really strong stuff. They're coming through. Mata, though, going to clear out a couple wards there. Vasili will get the big Raptor for himself as well. And Carry even pushing the top. So, you know, EP have won the last few fights here and done well in these exchanges. But Vici are continuing to pressure forward here against the team.
They certainly are. And Vici definitely scale better into this game with the Exir as well as the Callista. I just don't think you can ever count out the ability for Raphael to pick one member and completely throw a team fight in disarray. An aggressive build out of Hatong going for that death cap means that if Raphael is able to get on top of him, he won't live very long.
Yeah, we talked about it as well. He first picked it here in this draft. Is Dandy actually going to catch up through? The knockup comes in and Vasili just cleans him out there. Carry in the Mega Knight form. Going to dissuade anyone else from EP from walking into the brush.
Yeah, so they thought that they were doing Baron with felt they had to face check it, and that means that now Vici can start this one up, and there's not really much on the side of Energy Pacemaker they can do.
Yeah, Tong running good zoning control there as well. Baron at about 60% health, now going to drop to 50% as Kane's going to move in. They might try something. Amazing J, it's actually kind of around the side. Going in onto Mata. Kane going to throw a good amount of AoE in, but Mata gets on in. Raphael though around the side, gets knocked back by the ulti, but distorts away, and Drizzle still chasing him, but Kane is getting ripped to pieces. Vasili is going massive here, but goes down to Raphael. Drizzle still locking everybody else up. 2-for-1 in favor of Vici.
Yeah, so Vici managed to pick up the win in that team fight, but they are all so low. They need to get out. Shu starting to stream in, and Raphael looking to get aggressive.
Yeah, does have the Mimic back there. Mata will get after, tries to throw a massive long-range chain, but they'll push in instead. An EP defend with a man down.
Yeah, so able to stop the Baron. That's a key moment there. You feel that even though they're still behind, Energy Pacemaker have spiked earlier in this game because the Assassin as well as the Corki comp. So they're taking a lot of, they're dealing a lot of damage in these comps. Vici need to stop trying to force around neutral objectives, get a lot more farm onto the Azir and the Callista, because if they send this late, they're going to outscale. They've got some hyper carries in there as well as a massive tank, and this Aurelia still hasn't got going to the point they would like to be, but forcing very early.
Yeah, and that is the scary thing to think about. Vici, though, going to continue control of the Dragon, going to sneak them away here. Might just be able to complete it. Vasili not there to help with the Rend. Secure there, but Carry and Dandy should get enough. Drizzle wants to steal, but Carry and Mata are going to run interference. Mata actually going to dive in. The 4th Dragon does go down. Drizzle gets away, but EP now on a timer.
Yeah, so that is the scary point. 6 minutes, and that's the 5th Dragon coming up, and they've had complete control over it, meaning that they have to keep control over both Baron and Dragon objectives at the 35-minute mark, and that just might be the impossible task of how well Vici have warded out this map as we see a little bit of a scuffle in the mid lane. Raphael completely chunking out Mata with 3 abilities.
Yeah, it doesn't even have the Void stuff yet either, so going to do a lot of damage. Good hook dodge there by Shu, actually. Very aware, playing a lovely defensive Pink Ward to keep them safe. And again, EP securing vision around the area. They seem to want the Baron.
Yeah, they certainly want to keep control over that area. They've also afforded the luxury now of securing vision of the top side of the map to get Amazing Jason more farm and take out that last outer turret. So good job by them. They're back within 1,000 gold when this turret does go down, and you have to say that they've extended a very poor game very well.
They have, and it's just a matter of, is it worth for them to extend this game? Can their team get some work done here? And by all intents and purposes, it seems like it can.
Yeah, it certainly can. And I think that as long as the game doesn't extend into the 38 to 45 minute mark, they're okay. After that, when all of the items come through for the Azir, it's going to be pretty dangerous. But otherwise, yeah, sure, they can extend it into a late mid-game where Aurelia starts to shine.
Yeah, and Hatong playing it aggressively here, although Vici going to 3-man there, carry down the bottom as well. Don't even need the Baron buff, but playing like they have it. Amazing J just a little too long there on the bottom side, and turrets fall everywhere.
Yeah, so turrets do go down. They trade 2 for 1 in total, but it's still only 2,000 gold, so they're just trying to get some gold in there. And I love the Frozen Heart pick up here. That starts to shut down Vasily. Only going for that 1 attack speed item, and if you can get on top of him now as Amazing J, you're going to hamper exactly what he wants to be doing.
Yeah, and aggressive build from Hatong there for Vici as well. Actually went for a death cap, not a Zhonya's here, and Raphael, I think, has finished the Void stuff, and is very soon if he hasn't. So this Azir, if he gets caught out by a LeBlanc combo, is going to die in almost an instant.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Now he's picked up what looks to be maybe even the makings of a QSS, you would have to think, with the current composition. And that just might not be enough to keep him alive. Zhonya's would have been the better option here because he can get his wall out, then throw the Zhonya's out. Whereas Raphael, you mentioned it, as soon as that Void Staff comes through, he's going to pop the mid laner.
Yeah, and there's actually aggressive builds across the board for Vici. Infinity Edge just got completed by Vasily as well. So both the carries here for Vici, with the 5th Dragon coming up, I guess I kind of get it, but playing very aggressively.
And if Vasily wanted the Infinity Edge, I don't disagree with the item purchase as a whole. I just think he's gone the completely wrong order in buying it because it doesn't give enough crit by itself to really justify all the extra gold in there. Sit on the second BF, maybe pick up a defensive item, or go for that Zeal, because realistically, by itself, Infinity Edge doesn't have enough crit as a multiplier to really justify the overall purchase.
No, it's not the same item it was when it was, kind of a standalone 1-item power spike here, but Vici are going to start a Baron. It's a pretty easy secure there in EP. A little lapse in vision just means they can't really defend here, but Drizzle, he's going to give it a go.
Yeah, he gets over there. All the spears going in there means that you actually have to fight it if it's under maybe the 3,000 health mark. So need to get in there nice and early, get some vision. They're actually rotating Amazing J down, looking for a flank.
Yeah, actually, he's going to go in the ulti forced out there by Hatong, so a good cooldown use, and Amazing J will wait patiently.
Yeah, he stands on top of a tunnel to clear that one out as Raphael.
He almost kills Mata there as well. That's the combo we're talking about.
Yeah, he's pumping out loads of damage, and that's without a Void Staff. You think with that pickup coming through in about 100 gold, he will have enough damage to 100 the support.
Yeah, but EP have to try and fight here as well. Raphael crucially missing level 16 now as well. Does have a blue buff? No, actually doesn't, but wants to try and get the level 16. That rank 3 ult is a big boost in damage.
Yeah, it certainly is, but Amazing J stacked the bottom wave nicely. Got it nice and pushed up there. They're sending Vasily down there to pick up the red as well as carry, so they get a free shop across the board if they so please.
Yeah, very smart stuff here. EP, again, buying very intelligent pockets of time for them to use here in this game. It's been catching Amazing J back up, making sure your carries get big, but at some point, like we mentioned, EP do have to try and make a forward move here, but they've slimmed the gold lead down by quite a lot.
Yeah, and I think they've done the right thing. They've stalled it out to the next dragon because Vici are going to be very greedy for that objective. It's the 5th one. And maybe, just maybe, if they can get the right Cataclysm and cut off pockets of areas, Raphael can get some work done. It's very important for him to get the level 16 in the next minute and be able to pick up that rank 3 ultimate, as you mentioned. If that is the case, they will like their chances coming in here.
Yeah, Raphael scrounging for experience here. Kane actually level 16, not too bad there as well for rank 3 missiles, but Raphael pretty desperately searching for it at this particular stage of the game. The only one close here is Amazing J. Transcendent Blade's probably not needed here, but We're going to have a big fight in about 55 seconds because Vici, like you said, they're all in on this 5th dragon.
Yeah, if they get the 5th dragon, they will be... Ooh.
Good pick onto Drizzle there. Knockback there. The Flay in there as well. And Drizzle just gets CC'd to high hells. Raphael is going to dive in, try and get the damage up. Mata actually Fates calls in and finds Kane. Danny in a fight with the Unburied there as well. And Carry going to get the next kill.
Yeah, shutdown coming through. That's a massive pick up there. Being able to get the 2. And they actually go for the Baron because it's still 30 seconds on the dragon. And aggressive call coming out.
Yeah, they should have enough time to pick up both here and don't really care if EP get one of the dragons. And at this point, they have to fight Mata. Another great hook there landing. An Amazing J right in the back. Shu getting locked up there as well as Amazing J will actually get the kill onto Mata. Still running in. Raphael has done a lot of work here on the block, just sneaking in there, but Hatong will silence that, and Amazing J runs away.
Yeah, so Raphael able to dodge out here. Oh, will be taken down as well. So that's nearly the clean ace. Only Amazing J lives, and it was for 2 members, so 4 for 2. Good fight.
Silenced a little late there, was Raphael, excuse me, but does finally go down to Hatonga's Drizzle, running towards the 5th dragon here, trying to take it away. EP would love a first, but they really want to deny the 5th.
Yeah, they have to deny this, but this is an aggressive call. It will be 3v3 when this goes down, and I don't know if they can get it.
Well, Drizzle running in there. He's actually on top of Hatong there. Dandy trying to smite it out. He gets a little too low there. Amazing J dancing in the back. They're going to maybe get the kill into Azir, but a great shield there after the EQ knockout keeps him alive for a little while longer. Kane goes in there. Amazing J still alive, and EP have successfully defended.
So they successfully defend, and they deny the 5th dragon. No Baron fell down, and they actually turned that in their favor. That was a 5 for 4 if you take the extended fight in. What a play out of Amazing J and the jungler Drizzle.
Yeah, going to knock some Baron buffs after as well. So balanced in a whole lot of tension here right now, but Vici get denied here, and EP are going aggressive.
Yeah, they're looking to get in there for the Baron. Vasily picks up Mata, and Mata goes, mate, what the heck are you doing? I want nothing to do with this team fight. And that's an ultimate down when they're starting up Baron.
Yeah, they're actually on top of it. Drizzle a little low here, but does have his smite available. Kane forced to back off. Dandy is back as well. So Energy Pacemaker make the right call and get off the Baron.
Yeah, but now the teleport is available and they're sending multiple members back. Do Vici pull the trigger? They've got a lot of wards still in position from that last fight. But this game, completely even. 1,500 gold at this point. That's nothing. And Drizzle, you see, when a very aggressive, gets pushed out by the ultimate. As we jump back to live to watch a Scuttle Crab be mercilessly murdered.
Goodbye, Crab.
But that was what saved him there. Drizzle was going to fall down to all the Sand Soldiers, but they didn't want to let the other members out and got saved by Hatong's ultimate. And in the end, that's probably what won them that little bit of a skirmish.
Yeah, you can see as well, Vici are back in the Baron pit. Do have a nice pink ward there in the center. So able to clear out vision from the back. Raphael, though, very scary on the LeBlanc. Rank 3 ulti and the Void stuff now done.
Yeah, he's got another 1,300 gold in his back pocket as well. Might be looking to pick up another needlessly large rod for his troubles. And at that point, LeBlanc probably the strongest she's going to be all game. Looking to just absolutely smack Vasily, who has got the QSS, but doesn't help death, unfortunately.
No, he can't cleanse that one off. As we talk about, as Raphael's just clearing through minion waves, using his ultimate very aggressively. Of course, a very short cooldown on that one, so makes a lot of sense, and Raphael continuing to get pressure on.
And once again, Vasily was a huge beneficiary of this early game, but Kane's managed to sneak up ahead in gold. In a deficit for his team, he's 1,000 gold ahead of the AD carry on the other side of the rift. Definitely playing this Corki to great effect. Nearly got the 6 item build out there with maybe an Infinity Edge coming through as his last item. Of course, that Mercurial Scimitar is the premium item of choice. Just costs about $100,000. That's like the most expensive item in the game.
Yeah, you got to pretty much mortgage your home to buy the item, it feels like. Here is Energy Pacemaker dotting around the Baron. They're trying to see if they can get some vision back. Raphael, a very aggressive recall, but does have the home guard boot, so we'll make it back now with a need to see large rod ready to go. Yeah,
so he's completely ready to fight, and Energy Pacemaker is starting to sweep out this Baron area one more time. Dandy's actually on split push duty. I like this call. He gets to team fights very quickly with the ultimate, and it's a little bit harder to spot where he's coming to than the teleport, where the ward appears and purple starts swirling around it. Of course, you can get some sneaky positioning of those tunnels. It's important for wards to be in very methodical places to provide the visions they need. That's not the case for the tunnels.
No, and Energy Pacemaker now grouping up, trying to find something. It's a long dance around this Baron buff here. Dragon's not up for a couple more minutes, so neither team can fight for that. And these fights are very volatile at this stage of the game, as Raphael is going to bounce in and bounce out there with the distortion. But the thing is here, EP for me have done such a stellar job, win, lose, or draw for this game, of just making space here. Amazing J, now even in goal for carry. Kane, who was behind, ahead in goal now against Vasily. Like, everything that EP have done have just gotten to a point where they actually can win this game, and we wouldn't have said that in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, exactly right. And even in the mid lane, though behind in gold, you would say maybe ahead in the short team fights that we've been seeing power-wise. Sure, if a fight goes for a good 15 seconds, that is going to do a lot of work, but we're seeing Raphael get in there, do his job in all the AoE before that is the case. So they're putting a lot of pressure around the map, and Vici, whilst feeling confident early, would now probably think this game's on a knife's edge.
Yeah, and Energy Pacemaker have just shown such promise in the team fights that they have here. They've played beautifully together as a team, and Vici haven't quite been able to get it together yet. Raphael still pushing the mid lane as best he can. Amazing Day with his teleport is bopping off to a side lane to try and take out some minions there. And again, it's a long extended dance, but they have to. 40 minutes into the game. Now death time is unbelievably long.
Yeah, exactly right. That's a massive factor. They also are just trying to play around the dragon for the second time. I guess the problem with this is that you have a Callista and you have the smite that can come through from Dandy, the Prince of Thieves. You don't want to keep playing with the dragon, because if that is the case, they're going to get one at one point, and then the team fight just goes massively in their favor. Good flank coming through here from Danny, has been spotted out.
Yeah, actually, he might get caught out here, unfortunately. Does tunnel away, but the teleport going to come in for Amazing J. Mata going to look for a hook, but does not find any fish today. And Amazing J actually flanking around, but he might be caught out now as well. Randuin's getting popped by both jungler and top laner, and EP will reset.
Yeah, so EP reset, they did have to use the teleport, which gives the advantage to carry. He can head back into that bottom lane and start shoving it up with reckless abandon, although has been caught by some chains.
Raphael diving in, a little bit of damage, but carry pretty tanky here right now. Is Drizzle diving very deep onto Mata. There's a good catch that they can go for. Mata double play back. They get spades called out by Vasily, but Vasily takes so much damage to Raphael, but he's looking very low as well. Shu moving in, Kane coming in as well. The damage looking good, but Mata's still alive there. Kane gets the first kill, finally backs out. Vasily goes down. Amazing J going off in the middle. Dandy goes down as well. 3-0 Energy Pacemaker.
And Raphael, being that low, flashed in to assassinate Vasily. What a heads-up play, but so brave. If anything went wrong, no margin for error. And that's going to mean the Baron for Energy Pacemaker, although teleport now coming in.
Carry is actually going to make a job of it. Shu trying to look for a stun. He's so tanky is this now. Kane going to dive, but he needs to get to down. Hatong's here as well. That's going to force the flash. So Shu could be in trouble. Hatong takes out Drizzle. Might get another. Raphael looking so scared right now. Very low on health. Hatong charging in on this as here. Kane going to turn around a good bit of poke there, and maybe Hatong's like, don't fancy this.
Yeah, there was a very high chance of him being blown up, but the important thing is two members fell very late there, and the dragon has respawned. So unless they can pick up a kill here, which is what Amazing J's recognizing.
Raphael does go down, unfortunately. Azir gets the kill. Amazing J was trying to set it up, but that might just be it here for EP.
Yeah, so that'll be the 5th dragon for sure. They're actually prioritizing Baron over that objective, so looking to get the minion waves pushing in their favor and help out the siege.
And a long game still to come here, but Vici in a very strong position if they can secure these big objectives. Baron, like you mentioned, is the first one, and it dies quickly.
Yeah, so the reason I don't agree with this call out of them, even though they might be able to grab both, is that they could have grabbed the 5th dragon, been in a position to bait a fight around Baron, and used all the extra combat stats. The Baron won't help them around the dragon area. It helps you with pushing, sets up all your minion waves very nicely, but doesn't allow you to do it. And Kane might look to sneak this one away, needs to get a wriggle on.
Good guy Kane does steal it away and just kind of rides out on the earth there as Mata and Dandy are like, where's it gone?
Yeah, so now they were looking to do it in that, I guess, order, and completely snuck away. What a heads-up play out of Energy Pacemaker to delay this game even further.
And that's what, like 12, 15 minutes of time being bought already by denying these dragons. I mean, Energy Pacemaker playing very dangerously here, but it's working out so far.
Yeah, it certainly is. They're not backing away from the fight. They continue to take it there. Raphael rolled the dice one too many times. 1,500 gold waiting on that Banshee's Veil to come through. He'll be 5 items, and this is the point, though, that Hetong really is starting to shine on Azir. We saw how much damage came out last fight over that Baron wall from the long range, and he was able to poke out a whole team in a 2v4.
Yes, Marta, Hetong and Vici now will roam through the jungle of Energy Pacemaker looking for something. Might be a turret here. They do have the Baron buff, remember, so lots of pushing power coming through.
Yeah, definitely in a good position. Vici's picked up the Infinity Edge as a standalone crit item. We touched on it before. He had to go for the Last Whisper to be able to deal with this Aurelia. It's not adding that much damage into his kit as, fight starts.
Yeah, actually, Amazing Day almost getting hooked there. I think Mata found another minion, but the Baron Cannon minion is moving in here. Raphael looking aggressive, posturing in, but just trying to poke the minion with just one auto attack.
Yeah, they can't kill that minion. They're too short range, so they're just trying to fire rockets at it, but it's being guarded by Dandy, the human bodyguard.
Yeah, good stuff there. Is Carry actually going to get quite low? Amazing J will get grabbed up there. Raphael wanting to dive in. Can they get the super tank? Vasily diving in, gets a good chunk of damage done to Kane, and Vici break the base.
Yeah, that'll be the inhibitor as well. They got a lot of poke damage through on the other side from Hetong. Vasily going absolutely off now that he's finished up his item build. Doing a lot of damage. Still don't know whether the Infinity Edge is optimal.
Yeah, Raphael also poking his head around, maybe trying to pick up an exit kill or two here, but looking aggressive. Still has a permanent blue buff apparently, but unfortunately does not have one of his own. The Baron minions still moving in. They buff will shake off now as Drizzle rotates in, and EP don't have anything they can really do but counter push.
Yeah, so they're trying to stream down mid lane as 5 members and start a fight. Carry now, he's huge. He's got the Warmogs. He's finished off the Thornmail as well, so not going to be given that much trouble. Mercurial Scimitar finished off by Kane, so that was before even the Infinity Edge came through there. And at this point in the game, sure, Vici have a much better team fight. They've got advantages all over the map. They've got that looming pressure of the 5th Dragon, but you never want a game to get to this point. They would have been so much happier if they could finish it off, because one fight goes wrong with 45-minute death timers. There's going to be all kinds of pain, especially with how the new Alexas work, with all of the AP coming through from LeBlanc, going to be able to chunk out structures, help out Kane, who's got that Trinity Force and all the flat AD. Game's really close, when at the start of the game it looked like it was going to be a complete snowball.
Yeah, I mean, Vici just kind of took the ball and ran with it, and EP just somehow stopped them after a very rough 15 minutes. So impressive, like you mentioned, that they even got to this point. But I like that at one point, maybe 25 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, you mentioned that LeBlanc is probably the strongest she'll get here. Raphael almost gets himself hooked, so wants to keep that strength alive. But the thing is, you're right, LeBlanc just doesn't do that much at 3-4 items. If she actually makes it to 6, she could potentially blow up Carry, which is a scary proposition.
Yeah, and that's where she needs to get to, the point where she can chunk out the tank that much that the tank can't approach the backline. As we see a push coming through on the opposite side of the super minions, EP, they've got a GA on their jungler, looking to dive very deep with Drizzle and then allow him to come through for a second round of spells. Using him almost like a human cannonball to get in.
Yeah, he's just sort of a human shield. They throw him in, hope he's a distraction, throw the Cataclysm in, lock some people down, and then he comes back and tries to play cleanup. I mean, Drizzle, he hasn't had that much this game, unfortunately, as far as resources go. He's woefully behind Dandy in terms of gold, but he's making do with what he's got.
Yeah, he certainly is getting in there and I guess providing a lot of disruption. Oh, Shu got caught.
Yeah, that's not good. Then Mata plays back there out of the flash, actually, but the base gate coming up big.
Yeah, it certainly is, and the rest of the team not able to pounce on it. And Mata used a lot. The Ignite, the Ultimate, even tried to throw a lantern at him. Don't know what he was hoping to accomplish. Just a bit of vision over the wall, but in the end, the support player just walked out.
Yeah, I mean, Shu there did get caught, but he'll be okay for now. Here, and items are coming thick and fast now. So much damage on a lot of these carries, and like you mentioned, these are very volatile fights. So Amazing J going in, Drizzle going to dive in the back as well. Mata trying to defend it, but he gets Fates called out. Amazing J running out from under his turret, and EP are going to shake off the rent stacks and go again.
That's so important. That was only an wow.
Actually going to go back in though. The Sun Turret moving it. Kane gets grabbed there, but a good QSS keeps him safe. Forces the Valk out as well.
Okay, so I was going to say the QSS is in favor of Energy Pacemaker, so that was really important. But a heads-up hook coming through from Mata definitely flicks that back in the favor of Vici, and now the siege starts all over again.
Hetong Sun Turret here, and EP have to defend their Nexus as well. Arise did so much damage to that turret, and it melts.
Yeah, so they're able to take out the second base turret, and that was with 2 members back at the Nexus. Energy Pacemaker might not be so happy when they watch that part of the replay, but they're looking to get an exit kill maybe onto carry.
I mean, Dragon's up in 30 seconds as well. They have to do something here because, again, that time is still in this game. That 5th Dragon is still available for Vici.
Yeah, and it just doesn't go away as Amazing J and Raphael trying to catch out the big tank, but not going to be the case. And now, with Super Minions pushing into the base, Energy Pacemaker have a really tough decision to make how they defend this 5th Dragon.
Raphael is begging for a pick here as well, being so aggressive with his distortions, trying to find anybody that he can kill here, because if he can get one, that'll buy them enough time to hopefully deny the 5th Dragon. But Vici, the Dragon is ready, and Danny's just going in.
Yeah, so he's got his ultimate available as well as the teleport, so they feel they have 2 teleports to 1. However, they're just starting up the Dragon so quickly.
They have to fight here. There's nothing really that they can do here. Danny going to opt into a 50-50 smite, maybe shoot, gets hooked up there. The first Dragon does go actually to Hatong, and Vici now with 5th Dragons are going to blitz through Energy Pacemaker. Kane getting locked up in the back. Raphael trying to kite them, but Hatong doing so much work in the backside. Raphael going to get locked up for a bit. Distorts over, but Carry will chase him in. Hatong's going to find him. House hits on the back of the Blanc. Raphael buys a little bit of time with the Zonies, but does go down. Drizzle escapes with his GA intact, but EP will not escape with their base.
Yeah, valiant effort coming through from Energy Pacemaker, but in the end, the Dragons were what won it for Vici Gaming. Able to get that one away, and they'll take the Nexus.
And a really crazy game, almost 50 minutes long for Vici to wrap that one up. And we have to say well played to Vici. They finally took the game out, but Energy Pacemaker fought so hard.
Yeah, and they've shown that they can really go toe-to-toe with these top teams. The worrying sign is they can't win them. They're not able to get the all-important 3 points, but what a turnaround game. They got it to the mid-game where they were stronger, but super late game. The Azir, the Kalista, the Nah, just too many threats to deal with.
I mean, Vici might be thinking to themselves, we got kind of outclassed in game 1 and then had a lot of trouble winning a game we were ahead in for the first 15 minutes of it. That's a worry sign, honestly, to play a team like EP, who, yes, have been coming up, and other team that can spike you in against anyone, but that was more than impressive from Energy Pacemaker.
Yeah, it certainly was. I think the most worrying sign that is there seems to be a clear ban path that you follow to get rid of a lot of threats on Vici Gaming. You get rid of the Nidalee, you get rid of maybe the Janna or something along that line, throw these guys onto different champions, and they seem to not be dealing with it as well. On the other side of the rift, though, the target bans of Hecarim and Victor seem to be doing nothing. Energy Pacemaker still playing through it.
Yeah, I mean, Amazing J had a good game. Raphael's consistently well. Even Kane, who's actually gotten behind, I think, in both the games he played there, just managed to find a way to get ahead.
Yeah, he certainly did. Just managed to, I guess, beg, borrow, and steal resources to get in a winning position. Not able to pull it off, but very close.
And a great game played by both, but Energy Pacemaker can't clinch to 2-0, and Vici will win the split there against them. Don't get anywhere, though. Coming up after this, Dade and Friends as M3 takes on Gumty.